Overwhelm became topic number one. Today, I want to talk about overwhelm and mistakes we make trying to fix overwhelm by ourselves. And I'll give you three main reasons why, when you try to fix overwhelm, when you try to overcome it and work with it effectively, it doesn't work. My name is Angela Cox, and as usual, this podcast is for corporate people working in the corporate world and entrepreneurs who work to progress in their career and create exceptional leadership for themselves and their teams. So, overwhelm is part of dynamic jobs in corporate environment or perhaps in private settings for entrepreneurs. People come to me and say, look, I'm overwhelmed. It's part of my job. This is how it works. Um, the pressure is on, the project needs to be finished, and so on and so forth. So the first question I would ask, what do you do trying to fix it? And from their feedback, I was able to craft this list of mistakes they make and how they try to fix it. So I'm going to give you these main mistakes, and I hope that you can work from that list and see how you can overcome overwhelm in your workplace. So the main reason people get people get overwhelmed for many different reasons, but the main mistake people make when they try to fix overwhelm, they try to do even more work, and they try to do it all by themselves. So a lot of perfectionists have this trend that to do something well, you better do it yourself. And the more work gets in your load, the more work lands on your desk, the more tasks and projects you need to accomplish, deadlines, the more stressed and adamant you get to do it well and to do it all to the high standards. So a lot of perfectionists do it, prefer to do it by themselves. And this is the mistake number one. Doing it all by yourself, you neglect your time management, because when you do it all by yourself, you tend to spend more time on tasks you should have delegated in the first place. You shouldn't have been doing all together. So and you tend to do it so well, so you spend more time doing it. Number two is the time management. As I just said, the time management becomes not a priority. It kind of slides down on the priority list because we try to do it so well, or simply because there's so many things to do for the leader who is overwhelmed and who wants to do it all well and who wants to excel or whatever to make the project stand out. That time management simply slides down on the list of their priorities. We also tend to not to delegate. And this is the biggest mistake we make. So leaders who want their project to work well and who take so much on, and perhaps it's not because they take so much, maybe the business is dynamic and fast paced, and it requires you to take so much on, and our inability or failure to delegate inputs a huge make the huge input into the outcome overall. Because when we do not delegate, and with many women leaders who I spoke to, they actually refrain from delegating. They understand that it's very important thing to do. That's what everyone else says we should do, but there are buts, there are ifs, and there are this and that they just refrain to do it. And the main reason people afraid to do it or stay away from effective delegation is that The team will think that less of me, that I am a useless manager, and so on and so forth. The team have enough to do. You've given them tasks to do already, and this is part of overwhelm and part of the whole picture. When you give them so much to do or give them things to do, and yet you have loads of work on your own desk in your own environment, you still have so much to do. That means you haven't delegated effectively. We also lose focus. So there are three main things I told you. I'm going to give you three main mistakes people make when they're overwhelmed, trying to fix overwhelm. People do not delegate. People neglect time management, or simply it's just falls through the floorboards, as they say. And people are not able to focus anymore. So when we put on this attitude, we act as if we I'm still in charge. I am powerful management manager. I it actually applies to people who refrains to delegate or who doesn't delegate effectively, right? So we uh, put on the face that we are in charge, but in reality, the team will sense that weakness. The team will sense that something is amiss, and the team will act accordingly. So they do as we do, not as we say. So you can talk the talk, but the team will notice that there is a weakness, there is lack of clarity, there is a lack of transparency, perhaps there is lack of vision. Because when you get overwhelmed as a leader, the vision as a whole of a project, although you want it to be finished in time and finished to the standard or whatever, the team will sense that energy, and the project may not come out as well as you plan to. So these are three mistakes: the time management, your delegate delegation skills and abilities, and lack of focus. The focus becomes very, very saturated. You can't lead the team when you're overwhelmed. Not effective leadership. I'm talking about really effective and powerful leadership. That all kind of slides down as well. You just lead the team to lead the team, rather than lead the team powerfully, empower them, assign the project, the bits of the project, dissect your project, assign to your team, keep them accountable, keep them motivated. And that's what you want to really achieve. If that message resonated with you and that podcast resonated with you, I have two spots available for your leadership stock take, put it that way, where you can check with yourself first and foremost how your leadership goes and what blind spots you have that you don't necessarily even pay attention to right now. A lot of my clients get overwhelmed. They don't fully comprehend where overwhelm comes from, meaning that they the channels of overwhelm they stated in the conversation with me are not always the reason why they're overwhelmed. So I would love you to have this conversation, to take this opportunity and really, really nail it for yourself and just move on swiftly and powerfully in your leadership. I'd love to hear from you. Two spots for two conversations with me where you can absolutely nail it for yourself and move on with power. I'd love to hear from you.